Hello, this is Judy Ruff, and I wanted to tell you about something really special that is a possibility for coming to Lowry. So this is the Lowry Lowdown about new migrants wanting to settle in Lowry. Once upon a time, there's been an interesting development in Lowry. Several residents have been approached by a very kind and fun-loving group that has traveled the world looking for a place to settle. They came across our beautiful Lowry neighborhood and determined this would be the ideal location. They are foreigners who would like to migrate to Lowry, and they have a few requests. They need some housing, and they'd like the style of charming cottage, maybe about 10 by 10 inches, with a little effort to discover the exact location, placement of their homes. They would like to work with Lowry residents. They will require that specific location, and they'll bring happiness to all who can find them. They would partner with the Lowry residents, business owners, organizations to work and enhance the life, business, and civic engagement in our Lowry community. They're hoping the Lowry community will welcome them with open arms and make them part of the Lowry culture of inclusion. Here are some examples of homes that these new residents would love to have. This is the charming cottage style. These are prefab homes, and they can be located inside stores, on storefronts, outside, and they can also be put in planters and pots. Lots of options. Then there are some of the do-it-yourself homes that are attractive to this group. Some can be lighted with fairy lights and candles. Some can be painted or crafted. There's no end of options. So by clicking on the links that I will provide, you'll be able to see more examples of housing, and you'll also be able to see examples of fairy doors that have been established on the the South Pearl Street location, and they have a website, Facebook, and Instagram all ready to show you their fairy doors, which could be very similar to the houses that we provide or the doors and entrances that we provide for our new residents. These residents would be gnomes, and this is about gnomes at home in Lowry, welcoming and creating gnome homes in the town center, the Hangar, Boulevard 1, and residence homes. Gnomes can be a major asset in revitalizing Lowry and the Lowry Town Center and other parts of Lowry. Lowry gnomes became a huge draw to this beautiful Denver neighborhood. Visitors come all year long from all over the Denver metro area and beyond to locate the Lowry gnomes in the town center, the Hangar, Boulevard 1, and throughout the Lowry neighborhood. Maps will be available online and in Lowry businesses. Here's an example of a map. This is the one for South Pearl Street. So once a year we can hold an annual gnome scavenger hunt, possibly at the end of September, where people would go to the gnome headquarters that would be publicized in advance and pick up their map and passport or download a digital version. They could visit each location, find the gnome at each location, pick up possibly a coupon or an offer from each location, and then get their passport stamped. return the completed passport to Gnome headquarters, and then there possibly could be prizes or drawings based on those passports that are returned. Here's the possible passport. This would be something easy to create. The passport can be on the back of the map and make it very simple, or a little booklet could be created, including the map. The passport will include participating retail, restaurants, businesses, medical centers, parks, and resident locations. Businesses should have an offer, such as a coupon or a snack or cookies or candy or some samples, something really to bring people back to their location is probably the best idea. So here we have the possibility of an annual events calendar, something happening every month of the year, and it could be related to the gnomes as well. They could be included in some or all of the events. It would be up to the public to determine what they wanted. I'm offering a free record and document organizing class for January, possibly in February, a winter wine walk. Adding a gnome is a possibility. In March, a Let's Eat Together and a Lowry restaurant week, and you can possibly bring your gnome. April, self-care and home organizing. May, recycle and shredding, but not your gnome. June, yard sale and the Independence Day celebration. Include all patriotic gnomes and pets. July, an art walk. Existing Lowry outdoor art and highlighting Lowry artists and youth artists as well. August, a block party or parties on all the different blocks in Lowry that would like to participate. September would be our annual gnome scavenger hunt. An October fall festival would include Halloween and Thanksgiving gnomes. And then November, possibly a thank you and appreciation for Lowry volunteers and civil servants, businesses, nonprofits, and the gnomes. December, celebrate all holiday traditions, including the festive gnomes. So this is just some brainstormed sort of suggestion, a place to start to think about ideas, and then to concentrate on family and youth events within the calendar. Make a gnome craft in January, make a Valentine Day card or craft, learn a new recipe, bike riding to the park, bike safety, volunteer at recycling and shredding event, passing out handouts for how to recycle, how to get rid of unwanted items. June could be the accompanying the have a lemonade stand to accompany the yard sale is what I was trying to say. They could also do things with planting, painting a clay pot, planting flowers or veggies, plant a tree, join the Independence Day celebration as well. July could have the youth art exhibit. August, distribute block party flyers to the houses on their street. September, volunteer at the Gnome scavenger hunt. There'll be lots of possibilities there. October, participate at the fall festival and parade. November, deliver the thank you notes to the Lowry businesses and organizations. And in December, learn about different types of holiday celebrations. So the January would be the Get Your Ducks in a Row record and document organizing class. This would be one-on-one in person as the overview class, possibly in the Eisenhower Chapel, followed by 7 classes given once a week for 2 hours each week on Zoom. Then we could have a mini conference of professionals when the class is finished, encompassing the Lowry attorneys, Real estate people can be involved, financial planners, medical, dental, technical people, funeral end-of-life planners, memorabilia, professional and personal representatives. So lots of people that could be involved in that project. So here's some ducks who need to be in a row, but they're gnome ducks. So that's part of our theme. Also, here's End of Life Gnome, A Day of the Dead. The Winter Wine Walk. So this is described a little bit as a possibility. So, where we could have a map and a starting location, have wine at each of the locations that are participating, and an appetizer. Maybe we could get Lowry Liquors involved to discount case prices of maybe 4 or 6 types of wine, different types of appetizers at each location with the recipes or info on where to purchase them. Wine bottles can be hidden in a brown paper bag, labeled red, white, or rosé, and then at the final stop could be at the Gâteau Bakery with a port and dessert wine, and that's where the voting for the best wine could take place, and the best appetizer. So again, just an idea, possibility that we might want to consider. And of course, there are wine gnomes. So we could involve women who wine, Lowry, liquor, and into this wine walk. Then in March, the possibility of a Lowry restaurant week. So this might follow the restaurant week that Denver does and or come before it. So a customer comes in to dine because it also says let's eat together. So it's kind of a combination of just really patronizing our Lowry restaurants, but then you have this let's eat together possibility. So a customer can come in and they're asked if they would like to dine alone, with their party, or if there is an available seat at their table, would they like to invite another to come and join them? So if there were 2 seats available, 2 people could join them, 1 seat, 1 person, such, like that. If they're willing to have another customer join them at their table, the original customer will be given a coaster to place at the empty seat. That way, as people come in who want to join others, they'll look for the coaster and know that that's where they can join. So the coaster will say on it, please join in, or let's eat together, something like that. This will provide a wonderful opportunity for single diners or couples who would prefer to have company and conversation while dining. Sort of like, this gathering or very European style of eating and sharing a table. It's also a time when we could encourage people maybe to do on their blocks private progressive dinners or potlucks as well. So we can do public event and private in the month of March. So here's some gnomes, and let's eat together. So in the month of April, we could look at Lowry Spring self-care, home organizing, things like that. So this is where we can involve a lot of the businesses in Lowry for health and wellness, the spas that we have, all the exercise locations that we have. We can encourage walking groups, bicycle riding groups. We've got Pilates, we've got the Osteo Strong, Orange Theory, the Rec Center, 24-hour fitness. I mean, it just goes on and on. If there are personal trainers in Lowry, also we have our hair and nail salons. Physical therapy is upstairs in the town center, massages and facials. I think Heyday does facials over in Boulevard 1, and possibly just home organizing. If there are some professional organizers in Lowry, I know there's one in particular that we might include in that. So we have here gnomes, lifting weights, gnomes who are meditating and doing yoga. Then in May, we could do a big recycle and shred event where we bring together the shredding truck, maybe something for electronic recycling, battery recycling, paint, light bulbs, smoke detectors and CO2 alarms, aerosol cans, just make it a big central event, and provide handouts for the disposal of all types of household items such as eyeglasses and mattresses, box springs, tires, medications, appliances, motor oil, building supplies, linen, unwanted toiletries, clothing, etc. So we would give them a handout with all the different ways of getting rid of things all year long, but we would provide some of those ways right at this particular event. Notice the shredding. So here's some gnomes. You can actually make a gnome from recycled material like a glass jar. You can make a gnome home from square off glass vases. I mean, there's so many things you can do. So reuse, reduce, and recycle. So then the annual yard sale and lemonade stands in early June. This year it's late May, early June. As it is always held, the yard sale through LCMA, but encourage local youth to set up lemonade stands or a bake sale or something like that on the corners of various streets where yard sales are happening. Include the local schools, the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, and other youth groups. Encourage entrepreneurship and charitable giving. Connect with the Young Americans Bank. Encourage kids to open their own savings account with any Lowry banks. I'm thinking of Chase, but I'm sure there are others. And here we can have a little honey with our ice cold lemonade and have it as a cash only business with our gnomes. So this again is the our established Lowry Independence Day event at the end of June or prior to 4th of July. So this is that would just go on as exists. But now we're talking about later in July to do a Lowry art walk and an artist display. So we provide a descriptive map of all the outdoor artwork in Lowry, have a Lowry artist located at each outdoor art location displaying their own work available for purchase. Have a cooler of cold water at each location. Maybe Frame by Frame would like to participate, maybe with a percentage off on framing coupon, and set up a gallery for all artists' work to be displayed for the month of July. I think, too, this would also include a youth art gallery display. So we would have the adult artists and the youth artists, so people of all ages. And here's a frustrated artist who's having trouble finding a happy artist. But there, as you can see, there are gnomes of every kind you can imagine. So this is the Lowry block party, potentially in August. And these block parties could be on each individual street or could be something set up as a group kind of block party. But I think if we look at the neighborhoods and keeping them on their own blocks, this is a great opportunity for the block builder connection to happen. So where, they need tables and chairs and grills and, give everybody an assignment of what to bring in terms of the necessary utensils and items and food. And we get a permit from the city of Denver if necessary. But this is a great opportunity to accompany, to go out on your block, or if you have a child or grandchild, to go with you and to go house to house on your block and see if we could connect with those people, give them a flyer about the block party, but also to see if they would be interested in being a part of Block Builder, where they're giving their name. Obviously, we know their address, any additional contact information that they would like to share in case of emergency, and knowing that on that particular block, we would be sharing that information if they wanted to participate in that. So it's kind of a way of being connected with our neighbors and safe as well. So here's our grilling gnome. And then in October, we've had that wonderful Halloween Fall Festival in the past. And this would be an opportunity to do that again with a costume parade with, some categories of costumes and prizes, trick-or-treating at each Lowry shop, some scary music playing, in the streets, decorating mini pumpkins, something like that, something simple, maybe a coloring table where you just print out on 8.5 by 11, pages to color, but we could have blank postcards. So the part where a picture would usually be would be blank, and the kids could make some sort of picture or design on it, and they would have previously been addressed to the Brookdale residents at the senior living complex right near the town center. So as the last activity, the children could parade through the senior apartment community, drop off the postcards with the senior community staff, and then they will deliver them. Invite all the children through the schools, low-income housing properties, any way that we could possibly, the Girl Scout Lab, any way we could possibly connect with the kids to tell them about this event. And here we have some Halloween and autumn gnomes. And we can also, for the Halloween parade, we might encourage some if they feel like dressing up as gnomes. So we will have patriotic events throughout the year where gnomes can be displayed, or even if we don't have a specific event, it's a great time to put out your patriotic gnomes. And then I want to show you how there are gnomes that relate to the various businesses. So for instance, the pizza gnome, say with Walters and Mod Pizza, that's a gnome that represents their business. There's all sorts of gnomes in terms of public service, such as post office, fire, police, rescue, and what have you. There's tons of things there that you can find. And from the library standpoint, once our library opens, here's one with bookworms. And there are sports gnomes for our sports park. Here's baseball and ice skating and soccer. And then for our Big Bear Ice Arena, there are ice skating and hockey gnomes. There are beer garden gnomes for our beer gardens. The Colorado sports teams are represented in gnomes, believe it or not. So are you convinced that this might be a good program for our wonderful Lowry neighborhood? And if your answer is yes, I want to really get moving on this. It would be so nice to launch with a scavenger hunt in October or the end of September. Join the Lowry Gnome Task Force, and I have a handout for everybody, either physical handout, but also can send it electronically if you give me your email. So that is the end of the presentation. Again, my name is Judy Ruff, and I hope that this is something that might begin to help to bring the revitalization back to not only the town center, but the entire Lowry neighborhood, which we love so much and value so much, and don't want it to go downward, but only to project upward and to be a really positive and happy place for people who want to come and visit, not just using it as our residents using our wonderful community, but to have people from the Denver metro area, from Colorado, and from people visiting from all over the world. This is a great place, and we would love to show it off. So I know you'd love to join me. Please do. Thank you.